manhood extremely serious. Dr. Khaled was serious about being a black man. Some of us are serious about work, serious about school, serious about our goals, but how many of us are serious about being black men? Dr. Khaled took it to heart. For Dr. Khaled, he understood that the defense of the black woman and child and the elder was a significant part of the description of what a black man is. Not how much knowledge you got, how many times you've been to Kemet, but when's the last time you stood up for a black woman?
That's right.
When's the last time you stood up for a black child? When's the last time you stood up for a black elder? That's what Dr. Khaled Abdul-Muhammad means to me. We can talk it all day, brothers and sisters, but if Dr. Khaled was here, I don't know if Michael Brown would not be. If Dr. Khaled was here, I don't know if Eric Garner would not be. If Dr. Khaled was here, I don't know if Breonna Taylor would not be. Because if he could help it, he would show up and show out for his people. Dr. Khaled was not afraid to let it be known that he was unapologetically African even before Dr. Umar coined the term. Brothers and sisters, there's a lot we can learn from that man. College educated at the highest level, but yet gave his people his best. Died with his boots on. Never evolving out of the struggle, but only evolving into a deeper level of commitment to it. Because some of us with our college degrees, sometimes we start falling in love with them degrees so much that they take us away from black folks. At the end of the day, what needs to be done for us don't require no white man's education. And the more of it you get, as Dr. Carter G. Woodson taught us, the more of it you get, the worse off you are as a contributor to the liberation struggle. And let us be honest, you can count on one hand how many scholars were actually grassroots organizers. Most of them are too bougie to come into the ghetto.
Whiter than the white.
They want to give instructions, but they don't want to carry out the labor. They want to tell you the solution, but they don't want to participate in the enactment of it. Brothers and sisters, I was on Fox Soul last night. We were talking about child support. And there wasn't enough time for us to conversate totally, but one of the points I was trying to drive home about the child support movement last night was that the federal government gave us the first child support law on the federal level in 1975. That was not a coincidence that we got it 7 years after they killed Dr. King. It was because after they stripped the black community of the industries and institutions and factories that employed our grandparents, when they decided to create modern poverty, they started the child support movement in order to prepare for the mass incarceration movement. Child support was never about helping our sisters care for their kids. The white man don't give a damn about us and our children. Child support was about filling up prisons with black men, and what better way to do it after cracking guns than to criminalize childbirth and weaponize black manhood. And then Bill Clinton comes along in 1994 with his crime bill. And while everybody's worried about 3 strikes and you out, which puts more black people behind bars than any Republican ever, 2 years later, 1996, Bill Clinton comes out with the Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunities Act, which kicked millions of black women off welfare, limiting your welfare benefits for 5 years, and even if you got welfare, you had to work to get the check because white folks were saying black women was on welfare because they was too lazy to work. That welfare wage ain't nothing to live off. Ain't no black woman getting rich off no food stamps and WIC. But that's the image and the narrative that they created, but they wasn't done because 2 more years later, in 1998, Slick Billy Clinton came back with another law. This one was called the Deadbeat Parents Punishment Act. And under the Deadbeat Parents Punishment Act of William Jefferson Clinton, We would see more black men go to prison for not being able to pay child support. Listen to me, black women. You can't raise children without money. Yes. I have no problem with a brother being financially accountable to you. Yes. Dr. Umar can pay his child support because he got 6 degrees. But Mike, and Tay with 2 felonies, a GED, can't find no job, living off $10,000 a year before taxes. How in the hell is he going to meet his child support obligation every month? I'm saying we're recriminalizing black men who have already been criminalized by the power structure. And then when they go to jail, they lose their license. So wait a minute, Judge. This brother just got a job. You're going to lock him up, which means he's going to lose the job he just got to pay the child support. And then you're going to take his license so he can't get to work. And then while he's in jail, the child support keeps on adding up. When he come out, he owe more than what he owed when he went in. Brothers and sisters, the child support system is not about helping our kids or our mothers. It's about taking black men out the family. And now it's created this whole thing where black men don't trust black women and black women don't trust black men. And the child support institution ain't the problem. It's us. Because I'm trying to figure out why black folks is going back to the same man you fought to get away from and ask him to navigate your family dynamics. A black man ain't got no business asking white folks to come into his home. Black woman ain't got no business asking white folks to come into his home. I'm saying we got to do better together, brothers and sisters, because until we get the white man out of our house, we won't have a home. The other day, the Capitol building got overran with crackers. And after watching it, brothers and sisters, I totally believe that it was an inside job. Fact. Riding up to New York from Philadelphia today, I got a CNN news flash that said the FBI warned the government that it was going to happen a week ago. So here we go again, 9/11. So you knew they were coming, and you let them come. And I believe part of the reason they did that, brothers and sisters, is that was a test run to see how the nation would react under martial law. It was also a setup for a setback, so in case the white folks end up running into the black community, the government can act like they wasn't able to control it, because after all, we couldn't keep them out the Capitol Hill. And now they're saying this weekend is supposed to be a white supremacy weekend all over America. The white racist groups and white knights groups are supposed to be going out to attack black folks. So make sure y'all careful this weekend. Make sure you're not sending your children out alone. The most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, echoed by Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, said we must be prepared. What are black people prepared for in New York City? Party. That's right. We ain't prepared for our children's future. We ain't prepared with no institutions of our own. It's a shame that last year we spent $761 million on beef, pork, and chicken. And you ain't got no hospital that you can call your own in Brooklyn. It bothers me that we spend $4 million on children's cologne a year. Black men, $60 million a year on bathroom toiletries for black men. But we have so few independent schools. $250 million a year on kitchen seasonings. That's how important seasoning is to us. We spend $250 million a year just to season up the food, brothers and sisters.
Don't forget PlayStation.
But do we have well, I think we have one. How many black-owned banks in New York City?
Not
Just
even
one, right? I'm familiar with that.
Not no more.
Maybe one.
I learned that a few years ago.
And if we look closer at the people involved, I don't even know if we would call it black. Not saying that specifically about New York, but as I study black banks around the country, a lot of those who own the banks are not opening up banks to build black power. Because we know that you gotta organize the black dollar in order to have black power. There ain't no black power without the black dollar, brothers and sisters. We keep trying to find a way around sacrificing financially for our liberation. We keep looking for an excuse not to use our money to build power. Negroes saying, Doc, we need our reparations.
Like power. You ain't gonna get it.
Well, guess what? I don't want you to get your reparations, not this generation.
That's right.
If we took a vote today, do we give the reparations out now, holding for future generations, because these Negroes are crazy.
It goes back to them.
That's
Why you gonna get it right back to the end of the week?
You get reparations and you have no infrastructure to track the black dollar in. No hospitals, no banks, no factories, no distribution networks, no hotels. You have no way to track the black dollar. It goes back to your enemy over there.
Plus interest.
And Black, the Korean and the Chinese will probably give you the attorneys to fight for your reparations because they know how much money they're going to make off fake hair and automobiles. Yes, we entitled to reparations. We deserve it.
That's right.
Marcus Garvey is the father of modern reparations activism. But in your current psychological and economically disorganized state, you would betray the whole reparations if you got it. But I will tell you this. I take issue with the way reparations is going. First of all, I ain't seen none of the lawyers who fighting for reparations for me. You got to show me who y'all put up in front to do the bidding and negotiating. Are these black men with black women or these black men with white women at home? Who you got arguing reparations for black America? And are they doing it pro bono? Because no Negro should be getting a cut out of the settlement for our ancestors' unpaid labor. Ashe?
Hey.
In addition to that, when we talk about reparations, brothers and sisters, why do I hear so little attention paid to the psychological cost of the mob? I keep hearing about the unpaid labor. That's not the biggest piece. The biggest piece is the psychological damage done to Africans that still has not been corrected to this day. The reason the black man is in love with a woman who don't look like him has to do with the ma'afa. The reason we scared to speak truth to white power is because of the ma'afa. The reason a lot of our women are not comfortable wearing their natural given hair is because of the ma'afa. The reason our black professionals move into a white neighborhood the minute they get a degree in a job is because of the ma'afa. They owe us more for what they did to the brain than for what you did out in the cotton field. Also, when we talk about reparations, we have to talk about all the land that was stolen from our ancestors under gunpoint between the end of slavery and to the assassination of Malcolm X. From 1865 to 1965, hundreds of thousands of acres were stolen from our grandparents in the South. Crackers would roll up on them and say, you got 48 hours to get out of town, 24 hours to get out of town. I'll blow your brains out if you don't sign that deed over to me. They robbed us. So when we talk about property-less black people, we got to understand that we're not property-less. We just have to do the research to go back and get what's ours. Sankofa, go back and fetch it. We need research teams to research all the land that was stolen illegally from our ancestors and bring it on back home. That's part of the reparations package. The other thing I don't hear discussed enough when we talk about reparations is the damage that has been done to us since the 13th Amendment. So do you mean to tell me we're going to charge the devil for 243 years, but we're going to let him slide for the last 155?
Hell no.
All these Africans being murdered by police? No! There has to be compensation for that. Miseducation of black boys, 1 out of every 2 being evaluated for special ed and put on dope. There got to be compensation for that. Black women having the highest infant mortality rate in the modern world, where she's been having babies for millions of years, but now since the white man is delivering the baby, they can't keep them alive long enough. Compensation is due for
That's
that.
right. That's right.
I can't believe we don't have hospitals if for no other reason than to bring our own children into the world. Isn't it a damn shame that the first thing a black child sees when he comes into this world is the blue eyes of his oppressor? The first thing he sees come right down the ladder from heaven into the hell of hell.
That's right.
then we wonder why they scream when they get in. Gotta get smacked on the backside by a devil. The devil gets you and gives you to your mother. As far as I'm concerned, that's symbolic of slavery. I'm going to touch the black baby and I'm going to give the baby to the mother to let y'all know this is my property still 154 years later. When we talk about reparations, brothers and sisters, we also have to talk about taking back some things that we gave to America that has made America rich, and we need to reclaim them as our own property. One of them is black music. Brothers and sisters, black music is America's second largest export industry. This country makes more money off your voice than almost anything else it sells. If we were able to reclaim the rights to black music from Michael Jackson to Sam Cooke to Prince to Whitney, all of them, Little Richard, if we could only own our music, we would be able to rebuild ourselves without nothing else. We gotta get black music back. And after we get black music back, we gotta get black inventions back. We invented the cell phone. You can't make them no more unless you pay us. We invented the helicopter. Can't fly it no more unless you pay us. We invented the internet. Can't use it no more unless you pay us. We get our music and our inventions back, brothers and sisters. We rocking and rolling. But I don't hear nobody talking about this at the reparations table. I keep hearing Negroes talk about a cash settlement. What the hell is a cash settlement going to do? The dollar doesn't have a mineral value, brothers and sisters.
Right.
You can't cash it in for gold or copper or manganese or diamonds. It's a promissory note, and you know how well the white man keeps his promises to black folks. Brothers and sisters, I'm telling you that money should not even be on the reparations demand list. Because it's a trap. It's a trap. How is it your reparations if it's in the white man's bank? It's a trap.
With the white man's face on it.
With his face on
With
it.
the white man's face on it.
Brothers and sisters, money should not be on the list. We don't want money because it doesn't have any value. Our ancestors' labor is worth too much for us to exchange it for a white man's promise to pay.
Damn right.
We want the resources.
That's right.
Speaking of resources, brothers and sisters, 58% of black people in America are congregated within 10 states. Those 10 states include such places as Virginia, North Carolina, Florida, Texas, New Jersey, Illinois, California, and every one of the 10 states that represent 58% of all blacks in America are connected to land. Water. They are seaboarding states. So the way I see it in my reparations argument, since we dominate in those 10 states, we should own the largest port in those 10 states. So anything that comes into the state of Florida, the state of New Jersey, we got to get paid for that. Anything that goes out, we got to get paid for that. And one of the benefits of owning the port is not just to get paid for everything that comes in and goes out. You know everything that's coming in and going out. In addition to that, America has some natural resources, brothers and sisters, that she makes a lot of money off around the world. They include oil, gas, gold, renewable energy, bottled water. There's about 10 natural resources America's known for around the world. So guess what? Black folk get 50% of all revenue on them forever. Brothers and sisters, with my reparations package, we'll never ever have to go crawling back to the white man because we will own a piece of his infrastructure. We will own a piece of his wealth. We don't want none of his damn money. Our brother Bob Johnson, who sold BET to the Devils in 2000 for $2 billion. He sold BET because he wanted to get into travel business because he saw how much money black people were wasting in the travel business because you like to party. That's your problem. Everything's a damn party. You go into the barbershop, it's 50 flyers for a party, only one for consciousness. You go into the hair salon, 200 flyers for a party, only one for consciousness. We want to party ourselves into extermination.
That's right.
Party, 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 brothers and sisters. We got to grow up. We can't be children forever. I'm not a Christian, but in the Bible it says when I was a child, I spake as a child. I acted as a child. But when I became a man, I put away all childish ways. We haven't done that yet. We want to edutain ourselves out of oppression. That's what we want to do. You want to edutate, you want an edutainment movement. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. I notice when I go live, right? I have thousands of viewers, but let me start cracking some damn jokes. I get 1,030,000 seconds. That's how much Negroes want to be entertained. But I was sitting backstage waiting to come talk to y'all today. I learned that Snoop Doggy Dogg posted a TikTok video of me today.
Wow.
I didn't know Snoop knew the Prince of Pan-Africanism.
All right,
But I'm
Snoop.
glad he does. Now we ain't clapping yet till we get a damn FDMG donation.
That's right.
But the video that Snoop Dogg posted, and I'm not knocking Snoop because I need a donation.
That's right.
But the video that Snoop posted was a TikTok video that somebody made of a white girl, and they made it so it looked like I'm looking at the white girl and I'm second guessing whether I want to suffer the snow bunny crisis.
Wow.
And I'm saying to myself, with all the content that Dr. Umar has in the YouTube universe, with all the content that I have out there for you to post,
Right.
Snoop Dogg don't post
No
the lectures on
conscience,
special
right.
ed or ADHD
Right.
or Pan-Africanism or loving a black woman. He posts the video of me imaginarily looking at the white girl. I'm not knocking him, but where's my check? He can post videos all day if I get a damn
That's
check.
right. That's right.
But the reason I'm bringing this up, because we ain't picking on Snoop, we love our brother, but a lot of y'all ask me, Dr. Umar, you've been raising money for 6 years, why none of the celebrities donated? We know they all know who I am. If Snoop know, they all know. The reason they won't donate because they're too afraid of the backlash from Crackerville for supporting an unapologetically African black man. That's why they haven't donated, brothers and sisters. They scared. I knew one of Puff Daddy engineers. He said, Doc, I went into the office to talk to Puff and said, Puff, you need to meet this guy, Dr. Umar. Puff said, I know him. And then he said, Puff told me that you would get him killed. Damn, Puffy! They scared, brothers and sisters. They don't belong to us. They belong to the corporations. Black celebrities are corporate commodities. Stop looking at them as members of the community. They're not. That's why every time I meet a little boy, a little girl who says, I want to be a football player, athlete, it hurts me because if you make it, I know you will be inducted into the Hall of Fame for coons.
Ray Lewis.
And we got too many already on the wall of coons, brothers and sisters.
Ray Lewis.
Whatever you do, don't die a coon, brothers and sisters. And you got to make sure you don't marry a coon as well. Because a lot of y'all are real, but you're so thirsty you end up settling down with